Ambulance for what city? Fort Erie? And what's the address of
A 911 call placed earlier this month by two Fort Erie boys helped save their mother's life. Niagara EMS hosted a reception this past Friday to recognize the quick thinking of Andrew and Aiden Hastings.
My brother didn't stay calm.
I didn't stay calm at all.
He was doing compressions on my mother while I was calling and trying to get her heart back up and beating.
It was really scary.
Mm-hmm.
The boys also received recognition from the NRPS and the Fort Erie Fire Department, but the best present they received was getting their mother back home.
They just are grateful that I'm alive. It can be erased. They don't want to remember anything that happened that day, except me coming to, me being alive. The consequences were enormous. They could have lost everything that day to them. So they don't want to remember that. They want to remember seeing me in the hospital getting better, me coming home, seeing me every day.
After Aiden placed the 911 call, the Fort Erie Fire Department arrived quickly on the scene, followed in short order by Niagara EMS.
You're correct in saying we don't often find the end result of our interventions. Today is it's humbling as an advanced care paramedic to see that the skills and the time and the coordination have paid off. What draws my hardest on my heartstring is the young boys, and just seeing their faces. It's like every other call I've done with young kids. This one's turned out with a positive outcome, and I wish this could happen all the time.
Michelle has had previous heart problems and as such has made CPR and first aid a point of emphasis with her two sons.
They actually obtained and retained all of this information. So when the crisis did happen, jumped to it and didn't panic, didn't lose control, and did as they were instructed to do. And I know they would do it in a heartbeat in a second, if it ever happened again. And hopefully it never does. But I'm glad that they have the basic CPR, and when they're old enough, they will have full CPR training.
All involved wanted to get the message out that CPR saves lives.
Everyone needs to learn CPR, I think. I believe that everyone should know CPR, at least to get started before, trained personnel can get on scene. And I think that it worked perfectly. I mean, the system works. As long as we can follow that chain of command or the chain of survival, the system will work.
People should be learning how to, young people our age should be learning how to
learning first aid,
CPR,
respiration.
all the stuff that you need to know if anything happens, like a heart attack.
I'm forever grateful for everybody in that room. Each one of them played a very vital role in keeping me alive and bringing me to where I am today. So I'm just grateful to be here.
And that chain of survival started with your boys.
Yeah, and they are the most amazing children I could imagine. I've got the best children in the world.
In Niagara, you're watching The Source.